What up, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, we talk about crowdfunding, talk about Kickstarter, Indiegogo, if you haven't yet tuned into this YouTube channel before. And specifically today, I want to talk about how to launch a Shopify store and sort of two ways to go about it. And there are obviously a lot of different ways, but I really want to try to make this simple and demystify this for you in my no-nonsense fashion. And it's coming up right after this. So why do I put out videos like this? Why do I bother to put out videos and educational content for free on YouTube? I think it's because when I have, my first time in my life was able to buy things for my place, or able to buy things when it comes to my life or hobbies that I have. I love to play tennis. I love to do stuff like go running, love to go to the gym. And when I felt like I could actually spend my own money on different products in my life, I felt like it was insane. It was so cool to be able to fill my life with things that finally represent a bit of my identity. And even doing things like investing in like tattoos, right? And just being able to showcase kind of art that I like to have and like to have in my world. It made me feel as though I'm living a life that I've always wanted to, that life that I designed. And I realized that for you as the individual who's creating a new product and selling that online, you are enabling that experience to happen. So thank you so much, because without people like you, we would not have cool products for us to enjoy. We'd not be able to fill our life with really interesting, fun memories, whether that's creating a board game, being able to play that with your friends, or a cool new drone that you can fly up and take cool drone videos of and footage that you put on your YouTube channel, right? I gotta upload some of mine. This is something that is for me a labor of love and passion, and I want to share with you tangibly two ways to go about launching a store and why one of them is going to be a better fit for you. Hopefully you take away from this video that there is a choice here, and if you decide to take the better path or the easier path, I think it's really going to work out a lot for you, and the most important thing is that you're willing to take action. So let's get into it right now. So today's topic of today's video is how to launch a Shopify store. Now this is different from starting a Shopify store. I'm really talking about launching. What is the difference between starting and launching? Starting is like, okay, I do this, I turn the ignition, right? The key on the ignition when it comes to the car, I start the car up and it's beginning to rev up. Launching is like, explosion into outer space, sending that rocket, right? Like Elon Musk, into outer space. There's more action, there's more activity. It's really making a massive difference. You're not just starting a car, you are launching a rocket, my friends. It's a completely different mindset. They are two very different things in very different leagues. So we're gonna start with this by just illustrating an example. So let's just say the more traditional way of launching a store. We have someone here, and this is, we'll say Bob, okay? So Bob is here, and he's got a laptop open. And this is my horrible drawing of a laptop, of course. We'll just say this is his little desk as well. And he's, for some reason, doing a standing desk because Bob is very exercising and fitness-like. And he's standing and working on his laptop, which sometimes I feel like I should do because my back is getting really hurt, just sitting so much and working so much on your guys' client projects and all that kind of stuff. So Bob is doing this, right? And he decides, he watches my video and he starts a Shopify store, and he puts this out there, and he does everything when it comes to signing up for Shopify. He installs an app or two, maybe some themes. He gets a really nice looking store that he's starting to become finally happy with, right? And even when it comes out, he already maybe even has the inventory. He has an idea of the product he wants to sell. He got it made. He has manufacturing figured out. He has inventory that he can sell, right? He decides to launch a store on Shopify. He launches it, he presses go, and then he starts to talk all about it. We're just gonna say he starts to like talk about it to the world. This is the world, my horrible drawing of the world, right? This is the world. And he starts to just promote. And he's promoting on Facebook, he's promoting on Instagram, he's promoting when it comes to ads, everything. He's just promoting. He's just talking off, shouting from the rooftops, I got a new store, opened up a new store, new products, trying to sell it, right? And what ends up happening is that people start to come to this store, but people don't really buy. And it starts to become very disheartening, right? So he's doing all of this mega promotion, and he's getting some traffic, and he's even getting some people to check it out, and maybe even one or two orders, but nothing like he imagined. And he's like, what? I thought this is what goes into launching a store. Doesn't make sense. Why is this not working? I guess people don't want this product. I guess it wasn't a good idea, right? And then Bob kind of gets a little bit discouraged, gets unhappy. He closes his laptop. So we'll just say this is Bob here. He gets discouraged. He closes his laptop, he leaves his standing desk because he didn't get any kind of traction here, no matter how much he tried, maybe even wasted some money on different services that didn't work. And then he goes and does this other thing, which is maybe try to pick up another hobby or to go fishing or to, not just spend his time on this. He's like, at least I gave it a shot, right? This is not the right way to go about launching a store. This is not even a launch. This is more of like a turning of the ignition. And even that, it's more just like you're getting on a bike kind of, you're just like very slowly going down the highway. We don't want to be like this. Instead, we want to have an explosive event. We want people rushing and clamoring to buy the product. We want to create a fury of activity, right? And we want to make sure that when anyone checks it out, that they become a buyer of the product. How do we do that? Let's talk a little bit about that. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. So on another example, we're gonna have this be dimension number one of our little universe here. This is dimension one, right? Actually, I'm really big into sci-fi, so if you're into sci-fi, I would love to check out a new show if you have any recommendations. But yeah, so this is dimension number one. Dimension number two, we're gonna have a guy, we're gonna have Antonio, okay? Antonio, okay? Now, Antonio has a little bit of a different approach. And a lot of people are skeptical about this approach because they're like, wait, if I'm trying to launch something, should I just like allow people to buy it very quickly? Should I just launch it immediately, right? Antonio has a little bit of a different approach. He wants to make sure that when he does announce the store, instantly he has buyers. Instantly people are clamoring to get this thing off the shelf. That is almost like a media event in some ways. So Antonio stumbled on some of my videos and he started watching these. And what he realized is that the way to do this is not to leave it up to chance. It's not to just hope that it works. It's not that the universe will align and eventually we'll just get tons and tons of buyers. It's to engineer it. It's to engineer it in a scientific way. And he heard about this one concept. He heard about this one concept one day when he was watching one of my videos, and it's called a pre-launch, okay? Called a pre-launch, okay? He heard about this concept called the pre-launch. And he even went out there and he started to learn about this. And he started to see how this worked in many other different platforms, for example, Kickstarter and Indiegogo. And he started to learn about the pre-launch. He even maybe picked up my book, KLF, which is the Kickstarter Launch Formula, which I talk about a lot on this channel. And he started to realize that there is a tried and true method for getting people to show up and become buyers that does not involve you just immediately making this product available. And in fact, sometimes when people wait for a product to come out, they're almost more excited. Now, I want to think about a time in your life when that was the case. Think about a time in your life when you actually waited for something and you were more eager to get into that place. Now, a simple example could be you waiting in line for a restaurant. And the longer you wait like 30 minutes, you're almost a little bit more excited about the food than if someone just immediately let you in and they sat you down. It was just a very generic looking restaurant, right? It wasn't anything special. You immediately got your food. It just happened very quickly. You're like, I didn't really appreciate that experience. But for some reason, when you wait, all of a sudden you start to appreciate things more. It starts to be more of an experience, an event. And if the food is amazing as well, it's like, wow, that was worth the wait. And you almost feel better about this entire experience. So this is working with a lot of marketing principles that we discuss on this channel, the reasons why people take action and the reasons why people buy. What does Antonio do when it comes to the pre-launch? Well, first of all, Antonio's a little bit lazy, right? So we'll just say that he doesn't have a standing desk, but he's like sitting here. Maybe he has he's sitting here at his little desk here, and this is his chair, right? So Antonio's a little bit more lazy. And he's at his laptop here, and he's like, okay, I want to make sure that people show up and are excited to buy. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do what Sal talks about, which is called this pre-launch thing, which is I'm going to get people to express interest in buying the product. So one of the elements of the pre-launch is that people need to be interested in buying the actual product. They are expressing interest in some way, and there are many ways in which you can do this. A very easy way, if you wanted to, would just be to build up a social media following, build up an email list, build up any kind of contact database where you can announce to people, okay? So a pre-launch, first of all, starts with capturing information from people that are interested in buying this product in some fashion. So they don't know everything. They know just a few things. You know, they maybe know a little bit about the benefits of the product. They see things when it comes to the pics or vids of the product. They might have a promise, okay? But you don't get into the nitty gritty. You're not getting into the specifications. You're not yet getting into the logical information. You're not talking about the price even. No price, crazy, right? All you're doing is getting people expressing some form of interest or excitement or, yes, I want that thing, show me how to get it, right? And you're making them step through what I call that hoop, okay? And by going through that hoop, you're gathering a massive tribe of people. I'm talking thousands of people that are excited to find out where this product comes out. And then you start to raise their emotions. You start to go get them excited about this. You put them what's through a launch sequence in order to get them into a fury and frenzy of a buying state. So when you finally do come out with it, they're like, finally, like I was waiting for this, like finally I know the price, and then they immediately click buy if you do it correctly. So there's what's called a launch sequence. And this I talk about in the Kickstarter launch formula. Kickstarter launch formula is my book. So there's a sequence to this. And there is a formula, okay? So Antonio, again, he's a little bit more lazy. And instead of just immediately going live, what he does is he kind of drips out this sequence and slowly starts to stroke curiosity and starts to answer some questions that people naturally might have before they instantly buy a product like his. And he starts to even address some objections with different communications or even videos that he's putting out and showing just a hint of what that product could do in someone's life or who could use it or where they could use it or the major benefits which it conveys. And people start to get a little bit excited, a little bit antsy, a little bit anticipated. And even some people decide to unsubscribe. They're like, I can't wait this long. But the people who do wait are the ones who really want it. They're the real buyers, right? And they're in the droves. And you might even do other things like building niche communities, right, within that group. So he does the pre-launch. He starts to stroke interest, stroke curiosity, get people super excited, build up that buying state. And then he's going to set that launch event. When is it that he's going to turn this store on with a super exclusive launch discount that you can only claim for a certain period of time, okay? This is so important, man. This is so freaking important. You better be writing this down. This is so important. So he's going to launch this for a specific duration or time. There's going to be exclusivity. And there's going to be a couple of people even that maybe he encourages to buy immediately and to leave reviews on that site to get instant social proof. So this is instant social proof, okay? So he's doing a lot, obviously, when it comes to this, and it's a longer process. It's not as fast as just turning on the store, right? It's a longer process. But what ends up happening as a result of this is that when he goes live, and he does begin to then start to promote this to his own tribe, Key distinction here. He begins to promote this, and I'm gonna just kind of draw this down here, I guess. He begins to promote this to his own tribe of people. He has a lot of people here that are all waiting to get into his restaurant. They're all waiting at the doors. They're so excited. They're all starting like, guys, when are you gonna open the doors to this thing, right? It's almost like when you have like those sneaker brands, right? And people are just waiting to get in the store to buy this crazy sneaker or a brick. Like, I forget, I think it was Supreme, right? That just sold a brick for like 25 bucks and people are just clamoring to buy this brick. It's this buying fury. Same thing with Black Friday. You ever see Black Friday on the news, right? And they have the Walmart or some of these larger department stores and people are just clamoring over each other to get this discount, right? How do you create that same effect of human behavior? That's exactly what I study, right? So he has tons of people, a whole tribe that are excited to get in. They're waiting, they're nail biting, right? They're like, give me this thing. Like, I love a little bit how you're kind of, holding this from us, but like, I just want this now. At that peak buying state moment, he then launches the store and people just start spilling in. And why are they spilling in? In order to get this incredible, exclusive, amazing deal, which he's gonna have specifically just for his tribe. And what ends up happening is, on his store over here, we're just gonna have this be his store. On this store over here, number one, biggest difference between Antonio and Bob. Bob has no way to send out blast communications. He has to push on his own for marketing. He has to put in, pay ads. He has to spend a lot of money on that. And he has no real assets. Antonio has a whole tribe of people. He has a massive asset that he can do lookalike audiences off of, that he can make sure that he can send surveys if he wants to understand his customer base even more. He knows that people on that list are also buyers, right? And excited to buy this thing. He can communicate to them. He can send blasts. He can send promos. He can get them buying again and again and again. He already has a tribe that he's working with, right? So number one thing is that he gets a bunch of amazing reviews on his product page, and we're gonna have to change color here. He gets a bunch of amazing reviews on his product page. We're just gonna say that this square is his product, whatever this is. Gets a ton of great reviews on his product page. He also gets a ton of really nice things and testimonials that people are saying. It's incredible because he never thought he'd be able to just get tons and tons of reviews so quickly by using this method I'm talking about right now. Tons and tons of reviews, tons and tons of stuff. His sales are going like bananas, right? So all of a sudden he looks at his little dashboard over here and his sales are just going up and up and up. And it's this fury. This is what I call the pre-launch, which I document in the Kickstarter launch formula as applied to launching a Shopify store. And then what ends up happening? All of a sudden he's like, you know what? Now is the perfect opportunity to launch this to a larger network of people. Why? Why is it the perfect opportunity? If you know, leave a comment down below. Why is it the perfect opportunity? The reason why it's a perfect opportunity is because it's no longer a chicken and the egg scenario. What do I mean by that? With Bob, it feels like the chicken and the egg. So do we think I can draw a chicken here? I don't know if this is gonna work. This is like a dinosaur of a chicken. This is a horrible example. Here's an egg, here's a chicken. This is like the chicken and the egg scenario. It's like, which one comes first, right? Which one comes first? Am I gonna get traffic first, or am I gonna get people first? Like, how do I really build up the store? How do I build up a network of buyers and stuff like that? It's a chicken and egg scenario. He's trying to push, but he doesn't yet have the social proof on the store necessary to get those people to convert, and he's just struggling, and he's just struggling, and he's just struggling. It's just not really that good, right? He has solved the chicken and the egg scenario, because now when Antonio decides to market and promote this, people are going to come in from these different sources that are up here. They're going to funnel in and they're going to see all of these incredible reviews, all of this activity, people receiving their product, having a great experience, right? And they're instantly going to convert. Why? Social proof. Social proof, my friends. Social proof is one of the biggest reasons why I talk about this in my book, is that if you're able to demonstrate that other people are already excited about a product, if other people are already loving this thing, number one, it's going to create curiosity. Number two, it captures attention. And number three, it creates trust, where someone is more likely to consider a transaction online and at least trying something new. So it shortens the buying cycle. It shortens it, right? We call this as well UGC, user-generated content, right? Fancy word. I really don't like terminology and that kind of stuff, but it stands for user-generated content. I think it just sounds smart or whatever. I don't really like words that just like are fluff like that. But this is why this model is a much better model when it comes to launching a Shopify store. Now, there's a lot more that goes into doing a pre-launch, and there are a lot of things you might not see behind the scenes. And then also, when you actually do turn on the store to the public and you're done with your launch event, right? There's a lot as well that goes into actually growing that store and different functionality and things when it comes to running marketing campaigns, etc. So if you're interested in talking about this and how this could work for your specific store, or if you're doing a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign and you're like, this sounds really cool, how am I going to do this kind of effect or make sure that I do this in the right way? Book a one-on-one coaching call with me and we can talk about this exactly, how this will work for you and why this is better than any other type of method that people are talking about out there. This thing is proven to work, and I've seen it happen time and time again. And it's almost that like super cool feeling of like people loving your product, raving about it, talking about it, telling their friends about it. And they're even saying themselves in your VIP group, I can't believe we are so excited for this, right? I can't believe that we're so excited about this tiny little product. I have screenshots to prove that. So make sure that you book a one-on-one coaching call with me. We can talk about that and how this relates for your category or your product. The link is crowdcrux.com/coaching. So you can go to my website, CrowdCrux. I'll put this up here. Or at the link below in the video, crowdcrux.com/coaching, okay? You can go there and you can book an intensive call. This is really for someone who is serious and is looking to make rapid progress when it comes to their work online. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and you started to get you thinking about what is more one way to do it and what's a better way to do it. I'm not trying to say that the way that you're doing isn't great. I just want you to have good results because I want cool products to be able to buy and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking about promoting even other people's products at some point in my life. So this is really exciting and something that I want to get more involved with. So if you did like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, come subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you next time.